everyone, Laura DiPaolo here. I want to take you behind the curtains of what's really happening in the housing market and where we're headed next. Yesterday, I was on a Zoom call with the Vice President of Economic Predictions for the National Association of Realtors. And what I want to do today is translate that economist level data into real world language for buyers and sellers. Every slide you're about to see comes directly from the National Association of Realtors research. My job is to help you understand what it actually means for your decisions. Let's start with this chart because this explains almost every frustration I hear from buyers. This slide shows how many homes are missing from the market, broken down by the household income. Think of the housing market like a grocery store. If half of the shelves are empty, people don't stop shopping. They'll either fight over what's left or they wait until what they're looking for becomes available. And that's exactly what's happening here. They're waiting. The largest gap is in the middle of the market. Households earning around $75,000 a year. Nationwide, there are nearly 500,000 homes missing that should exist at this price point. And there's a couple of reasons why this is happening. People either don't want to sell due to their lower than current interest rates, and it's because we've underbuilt for years, especially homes regular families can't afford. So the buyer takeaway on this is an optimum time for negotiations, and the seller takeaway is that demand still exists when pricing makes sense. Now let's zoom out and talk about where the market is heading on this next chart. This table compares 2025 versus 2026 on a national level. Think of 2025 as a year of recalibration and 2026 as a year where momentum returns. Existing home sales have been flat in 2025 and expected to go up 14% in 26. New home sales currently have slightly dipped, and then a recovery is projected in 26. Prices are up 3% in 2025 and expected to be up 4% in 2026. And mortgage rates have been around 6.7% majority of the year, with forecasting hovering near 6% in 26. This is not a crash forecast. This is a normalization forecast. On this same chart, here's the part where people fixate on, the rates. What the VP of Economic Predictions made very clear is this. We do not need 3% rates again for the market to move. Rates stabilizing around 6% gives buyers clarity. Clarity brings confidence, and confidence brings action. Think of it like driving in fog. It's not the speed that scares people, it's not seeing the road. Once the fog lifts, traffic moves. This next chart explains why inventory is still tight. Homeowners are staying in their home longer than ever, roughly 11 years on average, compared to about 5 years in the late 1980s. People are not stuck, they're just comfortable. They've locked in low rates, built equity, and they're not moving unless if it makes sense for them. Seller insight is that the moves are intentional, and that for buyers, fewer listings, but there's higher quality decisions. This is one of the most misunderstood charts. First-time buyers are at historic lows, not because they don't want homes, but because the entry point has been harder to obtain. Higher prices, higher rates, higher taxes, student debt, and delayed life milestones all collide here. This doesn't mean first-time buyers disappear forever. It means they're delayed, not denied. This next chart is crucial. Millennials are the largest living generation, and they are right in the prime home buying age range. Think of it like a wave building offshore. It doesn't crash all at once, but when conditions are right, it moves forward together. This demographic pressure supports long-term housing demand. This chart shows how buying has changed. We're no longer in a world where buying is just married couples with children. While they do cover half of the buyer pool, single women now represent about a quarter of buyers. Unmarried couples and roommates are also increasing. Housing is adapting to how people actually live. And this is why strategy matters more than stereotypes. Despite all the noise online, nearly 90% of buyers still use an agent. Why? Because in a complex market, guidance matters, contracts matter, and negotiation matters. This is not a do-it-yourself environment for most people. And then for sellers, this is even clearer. Over 90% of sellers use an agent, and for sell by owner activity is at an all-time low. Why? Because pricing incorrectly in this market can cost tens of thousands of dollars. This is a strategy market, not a guessing market. This next slide shows how economists identify opportunity. They look at things like income growth, job growth, migration, listings aligning with incomes, mortgage payment versus rent, and new construction permits. Markets that check more of these boxes recover faster and grow more sustainably. And this is how professionals read markets and not the headlines. And then this final map highlights markets expected to outperform in 2026. Notice a theme here. There's balanced growth, affordability relative to income, job stability, and migration. No hype cities, no speculation plays, just fundamentals. So here's the real story. We're not waiting for a crash. We're watching a reset mature into recovery. Inventory is tight where people want to buy. Rates are stabilizing. Demand is delayed, not gone. And this is a thinking person's market. If you're thinking about buying or selling in the next year or two, this is not the time to just wing it. It's the time to work with someone who understands the data, the contracts, and the strategy behind the numbers. I'm Laura DiPaolo with eXp Realty. You can call or text me at area code 813-951-0657. Email me at lauradipalo.com or visit www.lauradipalo.com. And if this video helped you see the market more clearly, save it, share it, and reach out when you're ready. Happy holidays.